In the top right corner, we have from Team Mouse Sports, one of the most successful players from Germany. It is Hasuobs. I think Dennis has made something like 9,000 in September. Like, it's a pretty good month for him, winning EPS Berlin, as well as doing really well in other EPS Summer Cups. TSL4 he also plays. And so Hasuobs is doing pretty well. People may not know about it, know too much about what he's doing in the foreign scene. But as long as he's getting money, man, it's still a successful month, successful year for him, and mad props to him. In the bottom left, we have from Team Evil Genius's Raid Call. It is Huck, Chris Loranger, who's a PvP mastermind, as some people would say. Maybe not necessarily on the mastermind side of the ability to execute the most clean, but in terms of the mind games Huck knows how to play, and Huck's ability to, I guess, micro in situations that he's not normally able to win. You remember that game in Cloud Kingdom where it looked like he was going to lose, and he almost managed to bring it out? I think, did you watch that game that Bitter and Roddy were casting? It was awesome. It was so close. It was, I think it was against Arthur. Yeah.
You know, Huck is one of those players that you go into the fight and you say, Huck, what are you doing? You are so silly. You're going to die. And then he ends up winning it, or yeah, at least he comes really, really close. And it's like, I don't know how you do that. Like, honestly, a lot of the times, the stuff Huck does is just, it's so amazing to me. I remember in Season 2, he was actually getting 4-gated by mana, and he was behind in a Stalker, and after the battle was done, he was ahead by 2 Zealots. How does that happen, Frodan? I don't understand it.
I don't know. I mean, Huck's one of those guys that can pull out things from improbable situations. Now, we do have 2 conflicting styles in a sense. Hasuobs is more of the conservative, reactive, play very standard, either, you know, robo-based play, or if he knows it's like a map that you should go blink on, he will. But generally speaking, he plays very safe. Hasuobs doing a very specific build, also 1 probe on gas. Now starting to add more probes and finally be able to get his gas count up. Huck, more of the aggressive player, more of the person that likes, I mean, back when DTs was getting super popular, he would always go for DTs and to charge Archon builds or even to a blink, like that kind of stuff. Non-stop aggression, that kind of categorizes his play. For a while, was kind of known to have awesome PvP to advance him really far in tournaments. But now that Huck's kind of hung his head low for a little bit and just play hard in Korea, it seems like Huck's starting to qualify and do good stuff. He's qualified for IPL 5 through in Korea. Like, he came through the Korean qualifiers for IPL 5, which was awesome.
That's so impressive.
And then he now he's doing well in NASL. He's doing well for the EG in the EG's Masters Cup. I think Huck is turning another page. It's good.
I do too. You know, honestly, I think Huck is actually at that skill level. Like, he hasn't really dipped this season. Normally, we see him and he has a rough streak where he's just not really piecing everything together. But Huck really hasn't displayed that at all lately. And I think he's actually on the uptrend, which is really nice to hear. But already we can see the build diverging a little bit. Where did that Twilight Council go?
It's right next to the Nexus. Oh, what? Whoa. He canceled it.
Wow.
Oh, my. He's just going to go for a 4-gate instead. And, I mean, Hasuobs hasn't even scouted, so it's, I guess, Huck is just changing his mind sporadically. It could be like a mind game of also situation, because he knows that on a map like Cloud Kingdom, everyone loves to go blink. And maybe he want to try to hit at a very aggressive timing before blink can even go up. That's the only rationale. What do you think, Andre?
I'm not sure, honestly, Frodan. That's a really weird decision. I guess it's trying to hit pre-blink timing, but still, that's really, really risky, because Hasuobs has so much time to actually prepare for this. But look at this, 2 pylons go down at the same time. Before that 1 probe died, I thought for sure Hasuobs was going to get that before anything like that happened.
Oh, man.
And wow, he actually is going to blindside these Stalkers.
Needs to get a couple more shots in, but this is exactly the style of Hasu. Loves getting his 2 Zealots out so he can cruise the map. But a big warp in from Huck. Now, he did cancel one of his gates to go for a huge 3-gate pressure. And now Hasuobs, the 2 Zealots here, will almost certainly die. Oh, nice protection of the ramp, and 1 Stalker takes a lot of damage. Another one also might drop.
He can actually kill that Stalker. Yes, he will. Nicely done. And I don't think this 4-gate is really going to work, Frodan.
No, you can see Huck's already planning a way to transition out of it, as he's getting a Robo and Twilight. Hasuobs, meanwhile, has Blink about halfway done. Huck has to be very careful because he can't stay around too long.
You know what, Frodan? The more and more I think about this, I feel like that Twilight Council cancel was a mistake. He actually didn't mean to do that. because I look at him right now, he's actually re-teching back to Twilight Council. He has the blink coming up. He's putting down another gateway. So wow, that's right. You did say he canceled his gateway, which is so weird, right? Why would you cancel the gateway?
I think he knew he couldn't afford 4 gates.
Yeah.
So he's trying to squeeze out Stalker.
You're right. You're right. So wow, really interesting turn of events, and I really feel like Huck is unfortunately on the back foot just off the beginning.
Wait, did Huck cancel his robo now?
He had a robo coming?
I thought he had a robo coming, but it could be just a gateway.
Hasuobs.
No, I know Hasuobs does have his robo up. I thought I saw in the production tab, but it just seems like Huck is just going to go for standard blink. But with blink stalkers for Hasu, he can just even trap the stalkers with the force field. Oh my goodness, Huck is so aggressive with the stalkers, but he realizes that he can't really run with the stalkers so much, and this is just too big of an advantage. And now Hasu's just going to have way too many stalkers. That's it. Like, Huck has nothing to defend.
Unfortunate, and Huck's going to lose the first game here. I mean, he really has nothing at home. You can just see in his not his APM, but his micro that he's kind of given up there. He didn't really try focusing anything of value. It should be something like a stalker. But in this position, Hasuobs is just going to lean on his opponent and apply pressure, and it should be enough. I mean, look at that. He even has Observer over here. Aggressive blink probably going to come up, and there it is.
Well, you see, they just trap some stalkers. Lots of probes coming to the action. Huck really trying to hold on for dear life, but these probes dropping is just not helping his cause whatsoever. Now down to just 15 probes, and some of them aren't even really mining. Huck does manage to defend the ramp, I guess, but I mean, he's lost so much of his economy, he can't really keep up.
That's right, and Hasuobs taking his expansion, just continuing his lead. Huck doesn't even have a Dark Shrine. That might have been the one thing that he could use to actually get back into this game. No way to actually clear up this Observer, so he always has to worry about a constant counterattack threat. And Hasuobs just going to charge up forward. Both these players have Blink, but I think Huck has significantly less units.
Yeah, he's and again, he doesn't have a real source of income, and now Hasuobs expanding. I think Hasuobs knows that all he has to do is just play it safe. He's going to get out Immortals, maybe even just go for a simple 1 Colossus push if he even needs to, and then just completely crush it. In fact, he's moving up the ramp and just blinking backwards, picking off some units. Very nice. And I guess these trades really help Hasuobs because Huck can't reproduce the same way.
And remember, Hasuobs can always blink up over here, catch Huck's units out of position, and then take out some probes and then blink away. So that's definitely a very viable thing in this game. But for now, Hasuobs is just going to chill out and wait for a movement, and that should trigger Hasuobs to do this counterattack.
Well, Hasu, let's see where he goes from here. I mean, he's just...
He's not going to fall for it.
No. Which is really smart. Good reads on both players to make sure positionally they're always in the right spot. Hasuobs just continue to compound his Immortal leaders, or his Robo Time lead. And he's doing this so safe. It just seems like Huck has to just rely on more passivity from Hasuobs, but this is kind of like what he likes to do. He always likes to just sit back.
That's right, and look at that, canceling Huck's expansion. Hasuobs now at 76 supply to Huck's 50, and Huck is currently supply capped, so nothing going well for Huck in this game. It's really unfortunate. You can see the frustration in him, I think, just because of how unrefined it is so far, but it's because of the beginning stage. I honestly think something happened in the beginning, and he accidentally canceled his Twilight Council, because you don't really cancel your Twilight Council to delay it.
And the blink forward to also snipe some of those stalkers as well. The sentries are separated, so he can't even keep the Immortals away for now, and has to be very cautious with how he approaches from here. Huck, he does have he does have several sentries to drop some force fields. Doesn't really have even a pylon to reinforce at a certain point. Does manage to trap some of them, but the 2 Immortals are just so intimidating. How are you supposed to ever engage against this army?
Right. And look at this, very cleverly done. Hasuobs going to just displace a couple of stalkers over the top
This
round.
is well done by Huck, actually.
And he's going to break through. What he could have done is just blink forward and just target down all the sentries if he really wanted to. But of course, Hasuobs being the super
He does trap one of the Immortals, though. That's nice. Huck's actually doing this pretty well, considering the fact that it started off very tough. The Immortal's going to get picked up as well and caught by move command. Huck does immediately blink away as well. And now the Stalkers are also focusing some of the sentries. Huck's actually managed to be able to defend this beautifully considering how the resources he's had. And again, defying the odds, although one immortal coming in. Ooh, Huck getting very aggressive. The big thing though is Hasuobs has an incredible bank because he's been microing so much and the worker lead is just so huge. 49 to 22.
Do you know what? If Rotterdam played this game, he would actually show me how beautiful this looks. Look at all these stalkers, Frodan. That is perfect blink micro right there.
From Hasuobs.
From Hasuobs.
Yeah,
that's how
nice.
you know he did it right. Because all of them are very heavily damaged, so they're taking the max amount of damage before actually blinking out, retaining as many of those stalkers, dishing out that damage so it's actually kind of subsidized in all particular stalkers so he doesn't actually lose that DPS. Really, really well done by Hasuobs. He's compounding his interest, as you said before, and just going ahead, increasing his robo count. He's actually getting another robotics facility and also getting thermal bands. So everything's looking good for Hasuobs. He's more than doubling his opponent's supply, now just doubling it, but he was more than doubling.
It's a great point brought out by you, by Andre, and I think Hasuobs is playing on point. As Hasuobs did fall to Arthur not too long ago in his PvP, but showed that he was able to at least take a game off. Hasuobs still has pristine PvP, taking a third base. Oh my goodness, the lead is just so large at this stage. And Hasuobs has incredible gas advantage. Now, how is Huck going to hold off 2 Immortals and a Colossus? The only way is if they base trade, which is, I think, the only scenario viable right now at this point of the game.
And even base trades aren't going to work out for our North American hero. And here we go. The base trade has commenced. Hasuobs is sort of prepared for this. You can see Blink Stalkers are blinking forward for Huck, but really with a Thermal Lance Colossus, how are you really going to be able to deal with that effectively? And he's going to bring all of his Zealots and Sentries over, but honestly, 1 Force Shield is going to stop everything. There it is.
None of Huck's probes are going to survive other than a few that are currently still in the main base. Huck's now blinking forward and trying to go into up the ramp, but there's really nothing he can do. The probes are so intimidating. The Colossus doesn't really, I mean, it's so safe. Huck's army supply is so low. In fact, he's only got Zealots and Sentries really left. And that's going to be it. GG gets called out. Hasuobs takes game number 1 in this best of 3 series.
As I said, it came down to that beginning stage. The cancel on the Twilight Council was really weird into a 4-gate that really wasn't prepared. If you look at it, probes weren't out on the field, and when you are preparing for that 4-gate, you actually have stuff out in the field to do something, to actually place the pylons correctly. But you can see he was like, oh crap, I canceled the Twilight Council. I'm just going to 4-gate from here. You 4-gate, you send out the probe, it almost makes it to your opponent's side of the base, but of course it's just this half-hearted attack that really doesn't do too much damage. And, well, there you have that game.
Game number 2 was brought to you by Azo Monitors. Check them out at azo.com for the best in monitor technology. We'll be back with game number 2 between Huck versus Hasuobs. We'll find out if Huck's able to turn around right after this.